Yo, what's up YouTube? Zach from Team Top Deck here, and today I'm going to do a video of my Darklord deck. This is a really fun deck. It's pretty cool. It's not really common in the meta right now, but it's just a lot of fun, so I'm going to profile it for you guys. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. So to start off, we run the standard 3 Ixchel. This is probably the best Darklord in the deck. What this does is you can discard this card along with another Darklord to draw 2. Or another Darklord card, so it's really good. This can get your stuff in the graveyard for Superbia plays, for instance, and we run 3 Superbia. What this guy does, he lets you special summon a fairy type monster from your graveyard when he's special summoned from the graveyard, so it's a really good card, and he makes like rank A plays, and it's really strong in the deck, and there's a lot of synergy with this card and trade-in, so it's a great card to run. We run 2 Naz-10. This card's also really good. It sets up a lot of plays because you can special summon it directly from your hand to the field. And again, it gets stuff in the graveyard for plays, so it's a good card to run. Definitely recommend it at 2. You could bump it up to 3 even. But yeah, I played it 2. Next, we run the 3 Darklord YuGiOh. This card's really cool because it's basically a walking Raigeki, which is really strong in the deck because you can board wipe your opponent in OTK. So this card's really good. And it also has a great synergy with trade-in because it's a level 8, so it's really good for that reason. And we run 2 Tezcatlipoca. What this card does is he protects your Darklord, so if something were to be destroyed by a card effect or battle, you can discard this instead to protect your stuff. So this card's pretty good at 2 because it comes in handy pretty often. Next we run 1 Amdusk. Personally, I really don't like this card. There's no synergy with the deck really, other than it's a Darklord. But sometimes its effect does come up, so I recommend 1 of it. Because again, it comes up, but unless you want to be able to search it when you need it, you don't want to draw into it. So 1's a pretty good number. And for the last Darklord, we run the 1 Morningstar. This card's amazing. What this does is you can tribute for it, because it can't be special summoned, but you can tribute for it. And when you do, you can special summon as many Darklords from hand or deck or graveyard up to the number of cards in your opponent's field. So it's really strong and it's great in the deck. A lot of people don't run it though because you do have the tribute for it. But to be honest, like, this is an OTK card, and not just that, but I mean, a lot of people don't want to run it because you have to tribute for it, but you get those cards back. So like, even though you have to tribute, like, you're getting really good cards in return, so it's definitely worth it because chances are your board will be bigger than it was if you hadn't played this card, so it's good. So for non-Darklord cards, we run 2 Archlord Christia. This card's amazing. It's level 8, so there's trade-in synergy, and it's a fairy type, so you can special summon it back to the board with Superbia, and so this card's really good. Because what it does is when it's special summoned, neither player can special summon monsters. So essentially what this does, it's a first turn lockdown. So if you go first and you can get this card on board and you can set up a board, this card's really strong because if your opponent can't get rid of it their first turn, they can't play any monsters, and chances are you've already run the game. So if you can protect this, and again your opponent cannot get rid of it, it's going to be really difficult for them to get around, and it basically guarantees the game. And then for a little tech I really like in the deck, I think this is actually really strong. I run 2 Darklord, or the Dark Creator. This card is actually amazing in the deck. I haven't seen anybody playing this card, but it's really strong. It's level 8 Dark, so there's Allure, there's Allure Darkness synergy here as well as Trade synergy. And what this card does is if you have 5 or more dark monsters in your graveyard and no cards on board, you can play it for free. And then you can banish a dark in your graveyard to then special summon a dark. So it's really strong because if it's like late game and you get Raigeki'd or Dark Hold, you can just drop this card and basically get a board back. So not only can it save you, but it's also just really good because again it's level 8 and it's dark, so there's synergy here, and it's kind of unfortunate it's not a fairy type, but it's overall a really good card. So that's it for the monsters. Quite a stack of them. We run a lot of monsters in the deck, but we also run a lot of spells to complement that. So to start off the spell roundup, we run the 3 Darklord Contact. this card is amazing. It's a searchable Monster Reborn, essentially, and it's just really good. Because what you can do is you can search this card, and then with cards like Banishment, and then you can activate this to special summon something back, and then next turn you can use Darklord effect to pay 1,000 to reactivate it and shuffle it back into the deck. So this card is just really good, and it's a staple in the deck at 3, because it's just amazing. Then we run the 3 Banishment. This is your search card of the deck. This lets you search anything out that has a Darklord name, and it's really strong because it can set up a ton of plays. And again, if you need something for whatever reason, like if you're, let's say you've got a Superbia in hand, and your combos to get Superbia in the graveyard, you can activate the Banishment to search out the Ixchel, and then discard these to draw 2. So this combo together is extremely strong. And again, in the deck overall, it just combos really well because it's a searcher of the deck, so it's a good card. We run 3 Trade Him. What this card does is it allows you to, if you don't know, you can discard a level 8 to draw 2 cards. So this card's really good because it sets up graveyard plays, and again, it burns through the deck. Because one issue that Darklords have is consistency, but because of how much draw power we have in this deck, you can kind of get around that, which is really good. Because this is a fun deck, and if it's too inconsistent, you can't really play. But again, this helps with that. So definitely run it at 3 because there are tons of level 8s in this deck. Then we run 3 Allure of Darkness. This card's also really strong because everything in the deck is dark except for the Archangel Christia. So again, if anything is like dead in your hand, or you just need to burn through your deck, draw into some new stuff, you can activate this, and it'll help you do that. So good card. And then we run 1 Upstart as a last draw card. This just helps to, again, it's just a 39 card deck with this, so good for that. Then we run the 2 Twin Twister. This card's amazing in the deck as well, because it generally in decks this card's amazing anyways, but because you want to get some Darklords in the graveyard, you can discard them with that. So it's really good for that because again, it sets up plays and it's back row removal, so it's overall just good for that. A Soul Charge. This card is absolutely crazy in this deck, just like every other deck it's running pretty much. Just a big Monster Reborn essentially. And then to round off the spells, we run the 1 Dark Hole and 1 Raigeki. Board wipes. If you open one of these and you go second, or if you open one of these, you go second, and your opponent's got a big board, Raigeki or Dark Hole them, and yeah, you've basically won. So on to traps. We don't run very many because there's not a lot of room for them, but we also don't have to. Which I'll explain why. We run 1 Darklord Rebellion. This card's pretty good. What this does is it essentially lets you just destroy anything. It's non-targeting too, so that's a plus. And it's a searchable card because it's got Darklord in the name. So if you need to get rid of something, again, you can search this. And you can also search this, which is Darklord Enchantment. This card is essentially a mind control. And again, searchable. And that's why we only run 1 of these, because quite honestly, like, you don't want to draw into them because you can't do much with them, but if you can search them when you need them, for that it's really good, and that's why we only run 1 of each, because again, searchable, you can recycle it back into the deck with Darklord effects, and yeah, at 1 each, it's pretty good. And to round off our traps, we run the 1 Warning. This card's really good, and it's at 1 unfortunately, but yeah, so we just run 1 of this because it's strong in the deck. Again, can't search it though, but it's overall a good card, so we run 1 of this. So that's the main deck. We're going to go on to the side, or not side, but extra deck, and yeah, on to the extra deck recommendations. So to start off, we recommend a number 23, Lancelot. This card's pretty good. It's rank 8, so it does come up quite frequently in the deck. Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, a Neo Galaxy Eyes, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Card's also pretty good, and a Heliopolis. So these are all extra deck cards that you could run. Although you don't need extra deck cards in Darklords, it's recommended that you have them just in case. But yeah, so these are some awesome ones to run. Definitely recommend these. So if you guys like the video, please subscribe and hit the like button. Stay tuned, we have a lot more videos coming. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.